I'm Alyssa Rain, 38, and I've spent most of my life feeling like a ghost in my own family. We grew up in a modest Seattle suburb. Our little craftsman house always smelled faintly of pine from the woods out back. But it never felt like home. Not for me. My parents, Tom and Diane, were decent enough. Dad fixed cars. Mom worked part-time at the elementary school. I was their only child until I was 8. Back then, life was simple. Dad teaching me to skip rocks on Puget Sound. Mom helping with math homework. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. Then came Lily, 2 months early. A fragile bundle of tubes and blinking monitors. I still see her face like a porcelain doll behind hospital glass. That night, Aunt Ellen woke me at 2 a.m. whispering to pack a bag. Mom was in labor, everything changed. The house turned into a fortress to protect Lily. Bleach in the air, hand sanitizer on every counter. If I so much as coughed, I was packed off to Grandma Clarice's or Ellen's, as if I were a threat to my baby sister's life. At first, I liked it. Clarice's cookies, Ellen's stacks of mystery novels. But soon I realized what it was. I wasn't wanted. I was dangerous. Grandma Clarice's house became my haven. Her attic overflowed with treasures, chipped teacups, dusty paintings, and a shoebox of antique jewelry. I'd spend hours sorting brooches, each one a little story from another time. Clarice, a retired art teacher, told me about Art Nouveau swirls and Victorian cameos. Her eyes would light up. "You've got a gift, Alyssa," she'd say. Those afternoons tethered me even as I faded at home. Lily was the sun. I was the shadow sent away. That ache settled in, low and constant. So I carved my own path, one where I'd never be overlooked again. By high school, I'd mastered invisibility. Lily absorbed every drop of attention. Doctor visits, soccer games, applause for her average grades. I was the independent one, which just meant no one checked in. So I built a world of my own. My thrifted desk, lavender candles Lily swore she was allergic to. My sanctuary. I fell into art history books, memorizing the weight of real gold, the sweep of deco lines. School became my lifeboat. I joined everything that fit between shifts at Molly's Diner. Debate team, yearbook, National Honor Society. I planned study sessions like military operations. No one was watching, so I pushed as hard as I wanted. Debate became my furnace. Tearing apart arguments with a calm smile felt like justice. I won state championships twice. My parents, at Lily's C-team soccer matches. Molly, the diner's owner, became my stand-in parent. She'd slip extra tips into my apron and save me slices of peach pie. "You're going places, Alyssa," she'd say. Her belief powered me through all the late nights. I wasn't just surviving. I was launching. Junior year, I scored a perfect 1600 on my S8. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Less than 1% achieved that. I ran home, bursting. Mom was helping Lily with a book report. Dad barely glanced up. "Mom, I got a perfect score," I said, holding out the paper. She didn't look up. "That's nice, Alyssa. Lily's got a test tomorrow." Lily smirked. "Some of us have to actually study." I stood there, score sheet trembling in my hand, and decided I'd never need their validation again. I applied to 15 colleges in secret. I wrote essays about resilience. Mr. Rivera, my counselor, helped me through financial aid forms. Acceptance letters rolled in. Stanford, Yale, UW, with a full ride. The day the UW offer came, I cried in the library's quietest corner. Not from sadness, relief. I was finally getting out. At dinner, I told my parents. "Washington? That's far," Mom said. "What if Lily needs you?" Lily grinned. "Can I have your room for my TikTok setup?" I just nodded. I'd already mentally packed. That summer, I worked double shifts at Molly's. Ellen drove me to campus. She pressed $500 from Clarice's savings into my hand. "She's so proud of you," she whispered. That first night in my dorm, staring at bare walls, I made myself a promise. I would build a life so bright no one could ignore it. Not for revenge. For that little girl who got sent away for sneezing. So I graduated summa cum laude, landed a job cataloging estate sales at a prestigious Seattle auction house. It wasn't glamorous, logging dusty chairs and cracked china. But it let me touch history. My big break came with the Hawthorne estate, an elderly widow's costume jewelry collection. Sorting through it, one brooch caught my eye. Too heavy, too intricate. It felt real. Clarice's lessons echoed in my head. I pored over databases, examined hallmarks during lunch. Convinced it was a rare Cartier, I nervously pitched it to my boss, Ms. Coleman. My hands shook. "Where'd you learn all this?" she asked. "Just research," I muttered. The brooch sold for $47,000, a record for our branch. Coleman began trusting me. I took online gemology courses, spent weekends haunting estate sales. Each piece I verified, each hidden gem I uncovered, felt like rewriting my past. I wasn't invisible anymore. I was building something undeniable. "You're wasting your talent here," Coleman told me one day. "Start your own firm." The thought terrified me. I had no capital, just a studio apartment and a beat-up Honda. But the spark was lit. I drained my savings, sold my car, and rented a cramped office above a dim sum shop in the International District. It smelled like soy sauce, and the Wi-Fi only worked in one corner. But it was mine. Those first months were brutal. I woke at 4 a.m., panicked about loan payments, worked off a Goodwill card table. But my old auction house contacts came through. I began authenticating for small dealers, undercutting bigger firms with thoroughness and grit. 6 months in, I got my break. A Victorian brooch collection mislabeled as replicas. I identified 2 rare originals. My commission? $86,000. Word spread. Lawyers, collectors, even my old employer. By year 2, I hired Mia, a gemology grad with quiet brilliance. We moved downtown, left behind the dim sum fumes. 3 years in, we expanded. Offices in Portland and San Francisco. A reputation for spotting what others missed. I was making millions. But at home, I was still Alyssa, the girl at the antique shop. Hiding my success became armor. At Sunday dinners, I swapped blazers for Target sweaters. Lily bragged about fetching coffee at her ad agency. "Still at that little shop?" she'd smirk. I wore a vintage Patek Philippe worth more than her car. No one noticed. I started sending $5,000 a month anonymously to my parents after Ellen confided they were struggling. Medical bills, Lily's student loans. They thought it was from extended family. Meanwhile, Lily posted photos of Gucci bags and beach trips, funded by me. It stung, but I played along. I wore $3,000 sweaters Mom called tired. Let Lily offer me her fake jewelry for the shop. But it wore on me. I lived 2 lives. Alyssa, CEO. Alyssa, family ghost. Sunday dinners became endurance tests. The bigger my success, the smaller I felt around them. Then came Thanksgiving, my breaking point. 2 weeks out, Mom called, tearful about her herniated disc. "I'll handle everything," I said. I hired a high-end caterer. Maple-glazed salmon, truffle mashed potatoes. The spread cost more than their mortgage. I wanted just one night where I wasn't overlooked. The food stunned them, even Lily, who muttered, "Store-bought stuffing, Mom's is better," then inhaled 3 servings. I slipped upstairs to my old bedroom, still a shrine to high school, to check on a Hong Kong auction. My laptop screen glowed. $12.4 million account balance, $4.2 million quarterly profit. Lily barged in, looking for a charger. Her smirk froze. "Let's show everyone what Alyssa's really up to," she sneered, grabbing my laptop and storming down. The dining room fell silent. She flipped the screen to the table. Gasps. "This can't be right," Lily whispered. "Alyssa's rich?" Forks hung midair. Mom laughed nervously. "That's ridiculous. She works in an antique shop." I smoothed my sweater. "Actually, I own the Northwest's top jewelry authentication firm. 3 offices, multi-million in revenue." Silence. Then chaos. "You have millions and let us struggle," Mom shrieked. "Struggle?" I snapped. "I've sent $7,000 a month for years." Gasps again. Lily sobbed. "You hid this? I deserve to know." Dad joined in. "We raised you, and you're selfish." Years of pain flooded out. Raised me? You exiled me for a sneeze. Missed every achievement to spare Lily's feelings. I built this life to spite you. The caterers paused, mid-dessert. Mom yelled about betrayal. Dad about family duty. Lily wanted my net worth. I grabbed my laptop and her knockoff bag and walked out. Driving home, tears stung. Not from sadness. From rage and relief. I'd dimmed my light for them too long. My phone buzzed. Family chat and meltdown. Lily's Facebook post called me greedy. Dozens chimed in. Aunt Susan, Uncle Bob, a random cousin's wife. On Monday, they showed up in my office lobby demanding trust funds and a Florida beach house. You owe us, Lily snapped. I owe you nothing, I said. I canceled the monthly transfers, added them to my building's no-entry list. The harassment didn't stop until my lawyer sent a cease and desist. Mom tried guilt-tripping Clarice. She shut her down. Alyssa earned this. Be proud. 6 months later, I live in a new home with top-tier security. My numbers are changed. My life is mine. The firm is thriving. Ironically, the drama brought new clients, discreet collectors drawn by my integrity. Lily started her own authentication firm. Good luck with that. I'm done hiding. Clarice is visiting soon to help catalog a rare estate. Her pride is still my anchor. For the first time, I'm free. No more Sunday dinners, no more shrinking. My therapist calls it boundaries. I call it truth. If you've followed my journey, thank you. You've seen me rise from shadow to spotlight. Every gem I authenticate tells a story of resilience. Keep chasing your light, and I'll meet you where it shines brightest.